for me, being able to do testing means being comfortable with doing both front-end, so browser automation and testing, backend and API testing, and mobile testing as well. From all these three, I must confess, I feel that mobile is the hardest because you have a lot of devices, you will require a lot of configuration, and things are tricky there to test in an automated fashion. Well, I had this opinion until I found the following tool. I'm talking about Tricentis Testim. This is an AI-powered test tool that allows you to do both Android and iOS automation in the browser. You just need an email address and your data to get started, and in less than 10 minutes, you are good to go. Don't believe me? Well, let's have a look. So once you have entered your information, once you have confirmed your email address, you will be able to log into Testim. And in Testim, you have the following view once you enter. So you have an overview of all that you did, all the runs, both failed and passed, of the current status of your tests, and all of the history. You have, on the one hand, this is your project, the test project. This is test for me because I registered under Rester test, and there you have both test Android and test iOS, and you have some web examples as well. But that is not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is to show you how easy it is to do this mobile automation. So to prove it to you, we just go to test Android and we should be ready to go in just a few seconds. Before I can start, I need to make sure that the Tricentis agent is online, is started. Now, you of course will not have the Tricentis agent, but don't worry, you just need to download the one that suits your operating system. It automatically saw that I am on a Windows device, but there's also a local agent for Mac and Linux. Now I'm just going to retry and connect, and this will start the agent from my machine. Now, of course, depending on your machine, this might take up to a few seconds. But once this is done, we should see the progress here, and then also in Testim, we should see the agent as being up and running. And here it is. Now, once you start, you have two options right here. You can either use a physical device if you have physical devices connected to your computer, or you can use a virtual device. In my case, I'm going to use a physical device. Now, do not worry if I'm talking too fast or if you think you are not able to follow all of that I'm saying. I will also post the link to the documentation and a surprise link, which I'm going to reveal at the end. All will be present in both the description and the comments for this video. Now, coming back to our devices, I will be using an actual physical device, as I said. So let me just plug that into this computer. And once that is plugged in, we see an update here. So physical devices, I have an actual Samsung device. Now we're ready to go. We can actually start to create a test either from here or directly from the test list or directly from the test editor. Regardless of which section we want to start with, it will in the end bring us to the editor. Now, it's good that we give a name to our test, and let's just say Rester test Testim. And this has been updated right here. And the best way to actually do a test or to start a test is by using the recorder. Now I'm just going to start the recording, and it will ask me here again, do I want a physical device or a virtual device? Now, again, I need my physical device, and here we have other three options. We can either use applications which have been loaded in this library. I did load a test application here. We can go and use applications which are on our device, or we can upload our own APK, which we are currently testing. Now, again, as I said, we're going to start with the application which I uploaded for this specific test. Now, what the Tricentis Testim is going to do right now is going to run and open the application on my device, and it will also mirror the device screen here so that we can interact with it. Since this is the first time that I'm starting this application, I need to click on continue here. Let's just do OK right here. And as you can see, while I'm interacting in this mirroring screen, steps are being added to our test. And in this application, we can do different things. We can display toast, pop-ups, text, and so forth. We can check different things. So let me just click here on the display text. And now we have this is something displayed. And of course, we can click around here and there. Now, for each action which I am performing, we have one separate step being added right here. When we are done, we can stop our recording, and all of this is going to be saved, and we can just rerun our tests. Let me just start the viewing of the device, and if the test passes, or if the steps have been performed correctly, then they will be marked here as green, and in the end our test will pass. Perfect, this one passed. However, do imagine the following scenario. You clicked some extra elements, you performed actions which you did not want to perform. No worries, we can then amend this. We can just delete the steps which are extra, and once we have the steps that we want and their order, because we can also switch the order of the elements. So I switched it a little bit right now. So if I run the test now, my test should actually fail. So far, so good. And now it's going to try and find the continue, which it did. Okay, but can I actually make it fail? Well, how can I make this test fail? I can try and go a little bit deeper. So I go into a specific step. I go into the properties, and here I can, on the one hand, define what will happen. So if this step fails, I can choose to stop the test, or I can choose it to continue. But what I want to do here is actually delete all of the steps that we had before and start a new step or a new test from the actual beginning, where I'm going to show you how you can do an assertion, because for me, if you do not have any assertion in your test, then that's not a test, because you're not checking anything. So let us just, I don't know, click on this element right here, and then we can do, using the plus, so we can add another step, and which has more power or more functionality. We click here on the testing preferred steps, and I want to have a validation. I want to check or to validate that the element is visible, and I want to select a specific element, and like it says here, so we need to navigate and make sure that we're interacting with the element that we want. Once we have the element that we want, we confirm it, And let's double check that we have the one that we want. So new device, highlight. So that's the one that we want. Perfect. Let's run the test to see if it, so we stop it, we run the test to see if it passes. And it passed. But can we actually make it fail? We should be able to make it fail in the sense that if we delete this part and we run the test, now it shouldn't find it. And the reason why it didn't fail is because we were actually validating the wrong text. Okay, let's just do something different. So we start the recording from this position. And again, I want a step that checks for the elements text. And I want to have this one right here. Okay, this is text validation. We want to see the properties. Oh, it's not checking the best text, but nonetheless, let's save it and run it again. And this one passed. Now, if we would change the expected value to, I don't know, this is a test, and save, we save it and we run the test again. And now the test will fail because it was expected to find something or to find specific text, but it did not find it. Now again, once we have all that we want, so we have defined our steps, we have defined our logic, we have everything in place that we wanted, we can choose to save our test. And the first thing is you save your test and you provide a message. So first test, and so our test should be available in the test list, and it has the status draft. We can mark it as not being draft but being active. We save all our changes. You can see each time we do a change, it asks us for a comment or some text because it is possible to view older versions. So we have the version from a few seconds ago, and we can also view the version that we had in the beginning, which is not good because that version was empty. And if we go again, see older version, and let us go back and we have this version right now. Perfect. Now, if we have, or once we have all of the tests defined that we want, you might want to run your tests via a CLI or via Bitbucket. No worries, you can do that as well. So under settings, you have CLI, so you have the general CLI information. And you can also go into the integration, and it has integration with GitHub, Bitbucket, and Slack. And there you have it. We just saw how we can create a new account, configure our agent, and actually perform test automation on a mobile device from our browser. And it all took, I would say, less than 10 minutes. Now, I did say while doing the presentation that there is a link which you should wait until the end, and that link is for the Tricentis Academy. By following the link, you will be able to perform all that we did right now and also a bit more. So you have a curriculum which goes through the lessons, and you are able to do creation, playback of the test, and also configuration, all thanks to the experts at Tricentis. Try it out. I'll post again the link in the description. You should try it and write me in the comments what do you think about Tricentis Testim. Me, I like it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go above the 15 days trial version. As always, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one and bye bye.